How do? My name's Terry Bush. I've just got back from my mate Eunice's retirement do down the Working Men's Club, and she's just retired from being a radiographer. That's like an X-ray technician. And if you don't know who Eunice is, she lives off Andrews Drive. You know, she's the one with her daughter's Alice, the one with Downs. And her daughter's done all right though. You know, she's 37, and they don't normally live that long, do they? So she's done. They just don't seem to live that long. I don't know what it is. It's just some things don't, do they? You know, like cows and horses, cats, geeses. You know, it's unfortunate, isn't it? But she's been an X-ray technician, a radiographer, for like 37 years before she retired. And what she had to do is she had to keep a clinical diary because it was to do with professional development. But this clinical diary, the stories, some of them are horrendous. I mean, some of them are like from people who've had horrific accidents, people who are swallowers, you know, swallowing stuff, and insertions, if you know what I mean. And like, you know, she's let me have a look at it, and there's pictures in there and all, because you can keep the x-rays as long as you take the names out, you know, to protect the innocent and guilty mostly. And like this one, she said it were a bloke who'd had a mad motorbike accident, and he'd come off a motorbike, flew up into the air, and he'd landed on a freshly creosoted fence post, and it had like skewered him straight through like a piece of cheese and pineapple on stick at a party like we had today actually. And you know, I said to her, well, that, you know, creosote, can that give you an infection or is it poisonous, you know? But she said it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because they actually found the bloke's head 500 feet down the road after the accident. You know, it had rolled down street, and apparently the head were in good condition because he were wearing an helmet. But you know, when they're not attached to the body, you don't tend to live very long. It can be fatal. So she said that there was this famous one in the hospital. He were a swallower. He were called Mickey Frayne, I think his name were, she said. And he were a swallower, you know, like foreign objects, domestic objects as well, just everything. They were like these x-rays, and all chest x-rays and abdomen x-rays. And it were like stuff like watches, keys, what else were there? Little scissors, you know, them like sewing kit scissors, a little statue of Christ. He just, you know, he needed the attention, I think, the bloke did. He just used to swallow all sorts so he'd get a night in hospital and get some attention off the nurses and that. But his x-rays, I mean, if you saw a whole x-ray of his body, it looked like he'd been hit by shrapnel or something. It were mad. But, you know, unfortunately he died. But he didn't choke. No, he didn't choke. He got a job later on in life in a scrapyard. And he stepped a bit too close to the big magnet, and it pulled out a stopwatch out of his belly, like that film Aliens, and he died in a knacker's yard in Smethwick. But it's sad, isn't it, that? But she says that they find people with all sorts of them, you know, like claiming to have fallen on stuff most of the time, you know, like what did she say? She said she once removed an entire lava lamp out of the backside of a very well-known daytime TV presenter, you know, but and he wanted it back and all afterwards, after they'd cleaned it, you know, tight sod. But well, you know, but like she said, there's always people coming in claiming they're falling on stuff, you know, like what she says, she found like a spanner, an adjustable spanner, Barbie dolls, a Slinky, if you remember them, whisk from kitchen, and a snow globe from Morecambe. She said after she'd cleaned it off, she recognised it from Morecambe. She used to go on holiday there when she was a lass. But you know, she said one bloke, he were like a posh bloke, a professor, and he said that he had an itchy bum, and he were itching it with a telescope, sneezed, and it accidentally went up there. But you know, no one believes it. They just have to say, oh, okay, that sounds nasty, but no one believed him, and he was a bit stuck up and all, so. And it was fully extended, you know. But she said it took all of her gumption not to say that, she'd finally seen Uranus close up, but, he were a stickler, so he'd have probably said, no, in fact it's pronounced Uranus, but I don't think that'd have worked so well, would it? It's all in the pronunciation, that one.